We're welcoming back Joe Gavassi, college basketball analyst. And Joe and I, in this series that we do from time to time, if we're on opposite sides, we kind of place a bet amongst ourselves, and some of the viewers out there enjoy that. And tonight is one of those games. Now, right now, Joe holds the edge 2-1, so this is a bounce back spot for me, but we'll see how it pans out. All right, Oklahoma is going to Iowa State to take on the Cyclones, and this ought to be a really, really good ball game. These two teams met 2 weeks ago, and Oklahoma beat them by 4 on their home court. Now, it's the coin has flipped. They're playing at Iowa State, so it ought to be interesting to see how this plays out. Joe, first and foremost, I hope you had a profitable weekend beating the book, and college basketball is your expertise. So if you will, break it down and let me know why you think Iowa State will be ready for this matchup, and we'll cover the -2 spread against Oklahoma.
Three strong things working in our favor here with Iowa State in this game. One is that revenge factor you pointed out. Number two is the fact that it's always a highly motivating event when a team plays the #1 team in the nation. And by the time this game tips off, Oklahoma will have been anointed as the #1 team in the nation. And next is the magic of Hilton Coliseum, where the Cyclones have lost only 4 times in the last 4 years. One of those losses came the most recent time they took the floor against Baylor. So huge emotional motivation for Iowa State, much like Oklahoma State had when they played the Oklahoma Sooners last week in this very spot. Well, as you've known from my recent interviews here, I love the Oklahoma Sooners and believe they need to be in the #1 spot. The best perimeter play in the country, led by Buddy Hield and Woodard and Cousins, and interior Ryan Spangler, 4 years there. And as well, besides Spangler, now David Lattin, who got the game winner against West Virginia Saturday, is making his mark in the lineup as well. And of course, there's Lon Kruger, the winningest road coach in the country, with a record of over 60% against the spread in his games away. But the Oklahoma Sooners are becoming a bit overpriced and beginning to feel the pressure, as you saw in the last 2 games last week, when they blew a 16-point lead against rival Oklahoma State, barely held on for the victory, and then needed a tip-in by Lattin at the buzzer to overcome West Virginia on Saturday on their own court. As a result, Oklahoma just 1-6 against the spread. Iowa State has their own problems. They started the season a perfect 9-0, lost Naz Long, a key piece to their puzzle, and since have gone just 4-4 straight up. This is a must game, not only for the Iowa State Cyclones, but also for first-year head coach Steve Prohm, who has a baptism by fire going on in his first year of action in the Big 12. Key factor here, the emotion and psychology and situation of the game. Iowa State with revenge against #1 on a strong home court will take the Cyclones to blow them away and knock off #1 Oklahoma.
Blow them away. I love it. Joe, I love your breakdowns. I love the energy you bring with what what you've researched. And there are some major factors in there, but I think there's a couple things that are going to favor Oklahoma. And again, this is just my opinion on here. All right, that win over West Virginia, I think, is really going to strengthen Oklahoma, because West Virginia is one hell of a team. Bob Huggins is coaching his ass off. That was a great game, and they hung in there. I'm thinking coaching wins this game, okay? Hoiberg left, now with the Chicago Bulls. All right, Kruger's had some experience with these guys, and we've talked about this before in our previous videos. All right, you've got Cousins, Woodard, Spangler, and Buddy Hield. The 4 of them have started every game the last 3 seasons. That's cohesiveness, all right? That's confidence, and these guys know where each other are going to be. I think they get up for this game, and I really think that they know that they could have really beat Iowa State a lot more than by 4 points last time out a couple weeks ago. So again, that's why they play the game. But Joe, you and I are absolutely on opposite sides. I'm hoping I come back in tomorrow and we're at 2-2, and you're not sitting at 3-1. But anyway, I enjoy these bets, and we're just going to have to find a way to pay them off, whether it's having lunch together or some way. We'll figure it out. But in the meantime, viewers, you heard it. All right, Joe Gavassi thinks Iowa State in a blowout against #1 Oklahoma in college basketball, and I'm thinking the opposite side. Not a blowout, but I like Oklahoma Alabama getting 2 points tonight. Joe, thanks so much for being with us. I can't wait to tune back in with you tomorrow, find out what the results were on this and what you have for us tomorrow.